A harsh reality is looking good is a perk. Feeling good is an even higher perk. But the harsh reality is in the future, what you invest into yourself today is going to show in the future. And if you have a loved one in your life, or you have loved ones, children, siblings, what have you, we all know what has happened to people from them neglecting to do things when they're younger. Majority of my older clients that I've worked with over the years, the first thing they say is that they wish they would have started working out younger. And I get being young and living life and being clueless about, a lot of this, but it's 2025 going into 2026. We have abundance of knowledge, studies, experiences from people conquering things and accomplishing things and showing us how to achieve goals. So when it's 2046 or 2036, there's really no excuse why people shouldn't have it in their mind already to know that, taking care of myself, but mentally and physically and spiritually is just like, gotta do it. Like getting dressed every day. You just gotta do it. You shouldn't pay more attention to things that are trivial or that may not matter in 2036 or 2046, or they may change. And the harsh reality is, food has changed. It's been changed. The harsh reality is things are highly processed. The harsh reality is, certain animals are disappearing, certain plants are disappearing. People are building on good farmlands and soils that you can use to grow things. The harsh reality is you gotta figure out what's missing in your body. You have to figure out what's holding your mindset up from moving forward. The harsh reality is if you have loved ones, that do you really want the burden of them having to take care of you because of something you neglected when you were younger? That's the reality. Being married or even, having, children, it's like to death do you part, sickness and health. Those things don't mean get sick and wait for the other person to help you get healthy again. No, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's important. It's vital. It's vital. And this is not a toe in the water thing or jump across the line, jump back thing. This is something that you have to really gear yourself to understand and ask yourself this question: how bad do you want to live? If someone gave you an option of your children or your spouse or your parents or your siblings or aunties or uncles being stuck behind a glass, and all you had to do was, they gave you a room with 3 different tools. One is a heavy tool, one is a moderate tool, one is a super light tool. Let's say it's a feather, a book, and a hammer. These 3 things, a feather, a book, and a hammer. Your family, we'll say it's your whole family that you love and care about. They trapped inside a glass box, and they tell you, there's a line of fire right here. There's a line of oil right there on the other side of the fire. There's some water right there. And then over there is some acid, some boric acid that'll eat away at your shoes. There's 4 rows. And your family is in that glass box on the other side. And with those 3 things, or one of those things, you got to get your family out. If you get your family out, you guys live, happily ever after, so to speak. How bad do you want your family out? Because if you don't want it bad enough, this acid, fire, water and oil starts mixing together. And once these liquids start mixing together, the component of it starts spreading. And we're going to start tipping the ground a little bit to where it rolls towards your family. You got a certain amount of time, not all day, to figure out with either that feather, that book, or that hammer, or how you going to get your family out of there. How bad are you going to work to get your family out of there? How bad are you going to work to get your family out of there? Now, mind you, these chemicals in the room, some of them are giving off fumes. Some of them, are, deadly. And you don't got all day. But how bad do you want to get your family out of there? What are you going to do? What is it going to take? How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do? You don't have time to read that whole book. And that feather, I don't know how useful that'll be. I know what I would do, but what would you do? So I'm going to leave on that note. Fight for your life.